Like I said, we're going to be multiplying binomials now. So it's just showing you, again, it's showing you the algebra tile example. So I'll just kind of sketch these quickly. But this is x plus 3 right here on the top. Okay, and then we have x plus 2 on the side. Okay, that makes it x squared. We have an x, we have an x, we have an x, we have an x, we have an x. Then we have a 1, a 1. So you can see I have an x squared. I have 1x, 2x, 3x, 4x, 5x's. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units. X squared plus 5x plus 6. That is that polynomial. Okay, yeah.
Do we have to always draw all that?
No, like again, this is like the visual representation. Like the algebra tiles I'm just doing in the workbook, but like I said, for the most part, I just need you to be able to do the process, which we'll get to, okay? So this one is to determine what's inside. So it's x plus 4. Maddie asked a good question earlier. Does it matter the order? It does not matter the order. You can put the x plus 4 first or second. It doesn't matter. Okay, so this is x plus 4 here. This is 2x plus 1. So what that gives us, 2x squareds. Then we have x. We have a lot of x's this time. Told you it's going to be quick, so my x's are sloppy. Okay, and then we have another x here. Okay, so you can see we have 9 x's. Yeah, I'm not done. Okay, and then we have 4 little squares. Okay, so that one's going to be 2x squared plus 9x plus 4. Yep. Okay. All right. C. Go through these quickly. So now I got some white ones, so we're talking about negatives now. So this one's x minus 3 right here. And this one's x minus 2.
Junior class change.
Okay. So we have x squared. Then we have negative x's. They're negative because I have a white times a dark, so that's a negative. So these are negative x's. This is a positive x squared. Okay, I have a couple more negative x's. Okay, and then I have negative times negative units are positive units. These are all positive units here. Okay, so that yields for our answer x squared minus 5x plus 6. All right, and last but not least, this one here, we have another x, 2x minus 1 and x plus 2. All right, so we are going to go x squared, negative x. This is where it gets a little bit weird because we have a negative x, but then we also have positive x's here. Okay, so what happens with our x's is we have 4 positive, 1 negative, so it's 4 minus 1 to us. 3x, yeah. And then the last piece here is going to be 2 negative units. It'll be white. These are positive, so 2x squared plus 3x. Plus 3x and minus 2. So that's a visual representation of what we're doing today. Okay, I'll show you the foiling technique. I'm not even sure the book refers to foiling. We'll see. Do they call it foiling? Okay, so in class example 1A, we used an algebra tile diagram. Okay, and we're going to go ahead. So this is where they just kind of use a little chart. You can use this if you want. And so what they do on this chart, I'll just show you how to use it. But I'm just going to go right to foiling for these instead of the area diagram. Just want to make sure that's what I want to do. Okay, so well, we'll just practice it. It's fine. Sorry. Okay, so what they've done is they just line them up in just a grid here, and then you just times the grid. So you go x times x is x squared, x times 3 is 3x, 2 times x is 2x, 2 times 3 is 6. And you combine like terms within the grid. Okay, so the only thing I combine is these two, which gives me 5x. Well, the x are positive, correct. If one was negative, one was positive, then you would subtract. Okay, so if we just try this here, so like I said, I'll just go ahead and give them a shot here. So let's go here, here, there, and there. So we're going to put, for this one, 5x here, negative 6 here, 2x here, and 1 here. Okay, so then 2x times 5x is 10x squared. 2x times negative 6 is negative 12x. 1 times 5x is 5x. 1 times negative 6 is negative 6. So our answer, 10x squared. I have 5 and a negative 12. So it's 5 minus 12 is negative 7. And then minus 6. That's what we get after we combine everything. 10x squared minus 7x minus 6. Okay, so this one here, you got to use your exponent rules a little bit because you got some 2a squareds here, but let's go ahead and draw our chart here. So I got a squared, I have a squared, I have minus 5 and minus 8. Okay, I'll do this one. I'll have you guys try the second too. Okay, what's a squared times a squared? A to the fourth, good. And then we have a squared times negative 5, negative 5a squared. Negative 8 times a squared, negative 8a squared. Negative 8 times negative 5 is positive 40. So then, combine like terms, these two is negative 13. Okay. All right, go ahead and try C and D on your own here. All right, I'll draw the grids here as you guys are finishing up. Okay, so we won't take any answers right now. We'll just kind of see see how you felt about it, if you got it right or not. Okay, so this one would be 3p times p is 3p squared. 3p times 9q. So this is where you have two variables. This is where I told you don't invent a new variable. You just put them next to each other. You can do 9 times 3, which is 27, and you have a p and a q next to each other. That's all you have there. Okay, so the same thing happens here. With 2q times p is just going to be 2pq. Order doesn't matter of the p and the q, but I just generally just go alphabetical, and then whatever way you decide, keep it the same, just so that they look the same. Because you could get confused if you call this a 2qp, you think maybe those aren't the same terms, but they are. Okay. Lastly here, 2q times 9q is 18q squared. So this one comes down here to 3p squared plus 29pq plus 18q q squared. Yes, sir.
When we get into tests, are you going to want us to write it in like the greatest power?
Right, yeah. We'll descending order. Yep. And because what's going to happen is, Caleb asked the question, is descending order going to be a huge deal throughout this unit? Well, what's going to happen is we're going to get to factoring, and in order to factor, you want a descending order anyways. So it's just going to be long-term, you're going to do that anyway. Okay, good question. All right, A times C, just AC. A times D, just AD. B times C, BC. B times D is BD. And the reason I do this one is, as you notice, we have 4 different terms now, so nothing combines. So we just have to go, okay, well, that's what it is. I can't do anything else but that. That's just the way it's going to be. Because there's nothing I can combine, right? Nothing's exactly the same. Okay? Then they kind of show you a little thing here, and that it's kind of funny because I must have skipped over this last time I taught Math 10, but this is how I do mental math in my head. I break things down by tens, and then I can do the 900 easy, and I just do this part. That's the hard part to think about, but it's a way to help you with mental math as well. So what they've done is you can take 32 times 34, break it into 30 times 2, or 30 and 2, 30 and 4, so you get easy tens and then easier numbers to multiply. Okay, and so this is 34, right? 32. 30 times 30 is 900. 30 times 2 is 60. 4 times 30 is 120. 4 times 2 is 8. Add all of that up, and that gives you your answer of 32 times 34. Okay? So I'll show you on the bottom, so you guys are looking confused here. The long multiplication? Like this way? You should already know that one. Long multiplication, right? Like 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 3 is 12. Carry the 1, 12. Always put a 0 in there, your next place value. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 3 is 9. Add them up. Okay? Is that assumed? We all know how to do that? Yeah. Okay. So hopefully you just forgot. Okay, so for this one here, use a diagram and no calculator to determine the following products. So we'll go and do the area diagram. You can do long if you want, but I'll do the area diagram because that should be the new one. Okay, so 43 break up to what? 40 and a 3, yeah. 5, 50, and a 1. 50 times 40 is what? 2,000. 40 times 1 is 40. 50 times 3 is 150. 3 times 1 is 3. So that's going to be 2,193 for that one. Okay, I'll get this one drawn up here. So it breaks into a 70 and a 6, an 80 and a 2. 70 times 80 is 5,600. 80 times 60 is 480. 70 times 2 is 140. 6 times 2 is 12. Add those up, 6,080, 6,080, 6,120, 6,202. Thanks. Okay. Oh, 232. Oh, Raj let me down. Trusted you. It's all right. Okay, I think you forgot the 140. Okay, so 6,232. It's all good. Okay, on to the last part here. Okay, this is kind of to me the meat of what we're doing, being able to do it with the distributive property. So multiplying 2 binomials using distributive property. So there's one way you can show it, but honestly, like I'm going to do these two with the distributive property, but I really just want to push the foiling because foiling is like what you have to know how to do. Okay, so distributive property, all this means is if you have a binomial times a binomial, that means this x has hit both of these things. So you write x times x plus 2 plus 3 times x plus 2. So you can see I've broken this one up, so it hits this binomial each with the distributive property. You see what I did there? So I just took the one in the front, I broke it up to hit this guy separately. So then you distribute. And now combine like terms. Okay, and that one looks familiar. That's the one we did in the beginning. Okay, I'll do D, and then I'm going to talk about foiling. I'm going to foil the rest. Okay, so D would be x times x minus 5y, 4y, okay. Good. So we go distribute x squared minus 5xy plus 4xy, right there, minus 20y squared. I can combine the middle there. Remember, if you're wondering how I got these to be this way, I always put them in alphabetical order. So this right here, x times the negative 5y, I just put the xy, so it's xy is in alphabetical. 4y times the x, I just put the x in front of the y. They're still the same thing, because you can do that. You can write it in any order you want, because it's multiplication. It doesn't matter. 2 times 3 and 3 times 2 is the same thing. So it doesn't matter where your y or x is. So this answer would be this here. Okay. Okay, so right there at the bottom now, I'm going to talk about foiling. Foiling's nice if you like acronyms or things to help you remember stuff. Foiling stands for first, outside, inside, last. First, outside, inside, last. Okay, so let me explain what that means. We're going to foil the part B here. So F, first. So that means you multiply the two first terms. First. They're the first ones you see in both binomial. So that's going to be a times 2a, that's 2a squared. O, outside. So now the outside terms. One's on the outside. A times a negative 1 is a negative a. Inside. Negative 7 times 2a. Negative 14a. And last, the ones that are last. Negative 7 times negative 1 is positive 7. Okay, and then for the last step here is to combine like terms. There's only, the middle is usually your like terms. 2a squared minus 15a plus 7.
What does that say after inside, like under?
Last. Okay, I'm going to do these two, and then I'm going to have you guys try the 4 below using the technique yourself, and then we'll check them. So I'm going to do 2 more here. Okay, I'm going to go a little faster. I'll do E last. P times Q, PQ for my F. P times negative 8, negative 8P. Negative 8 times Q, negative 8Q. Negative 8 times negative 8, positive 64. This one there, that's done. There is no like terms to combine. Okay, 9a squared times 5a cubed, 45a to the 5th, 9a squared times 6, 54a squared, negative 1 times 5a cubed, negative 5a cubed, negative 1 times 6, negative 6. This one also doesn't have any like terms. I could reorder it, okay, to get descending order like Caleb asked earlier, which would be a good idea. 4a to the 5th, I'm going to go minus 5a cubed plus 54a squared and minus 6. You good? Okay, please try to foil those 4 at the bottom, and then we'll go through and just talk about the answers here in a little bit. Okay, with D, don't freak out. What's a square mean? just means there's 2 of them. So this means you can write it twice and FOIL it. That's what squared means, right? 2 of the same thing times itself. So that's what that means there, okay? Go ahead and try that. I'll pause the video here. All right, so if we FOIL these last ones out, you should have got, we'll put up the answers first just so you can kind of check. Oops. Okay. So how'd it go? Unreal. In a good way, hopefully unreal. Okay. X squared, 4x, 6x, 24. 4x and 6x make the 10x. Y squared, 2y, negative 7y, negative 14. 2 minus 7 is negative 5. 3x times x, 3x squared. 3x times negative 5, negative 15x. 1x, negative 5. Negative 15 plus 1 is a negative 14. And lastly here, 6a times 6a, 36a squared. 6a times negative 5b, negative 30ab. Another negative 30ab, and positive 25b squared. Negative 30s make a negative 60. That's all she wrote. Okay.